Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Blockhouse Disc Golf Course and Country Club. We are excited to bring you some disc golf action here from the Tiki course here at the course used to be known as the Grange. It's going to be as exciting as this rooster eating a Cheeto. I am your host, Philip Lisburn, and I have my co-host with me here this evening. His name is Daniel Prospect. Daniel, how's it going?
Oh man, it's going fine. I'm ready to see some boys throw some discs.
Yes, that's the spirit. We are getting pumped and excited to watch these discs get thrown into these baskets. We're setting up some camera shots here to bring you the best action in local disc golf you have ever seen.
Which isn't saying a lot.
That is true. All right. As we get our cameras set up, we're going to give a shout out here to the Harrisonburg Disc Golf Club, the Rocktown Rollers. Nope, sorry, that's the skating team. Either way, we're going out to hole one. Hole one is 816 inches. You've got a gap between the two trees there that's surrounded by nets. Ooh, and we've got Matt off the tee first, and he is off the top of the basket.
Man, Matt, what a good stance, good class, great form. Oh, now we got Tyler up here. Oh, yep, you can see he's going to do something great here. And there it goes. Yep, it missed.
That was a close shot, though. He tried really hard. Next, we've got Aaron on the tee, otherwise known as Aaron, depending on where you are. His shot goes a little bit to the right, I think off one of those guardian trees, but I think he's going to be okay.
Why do I have the feeling that Ned is going to miss also here?
I don't know, but it seems to be the theme of the day, but that was really close. It was a good line. It just faded out to the left a little early.
Well, hole two, 828 inches. For anybody who's writing this down at home, that's the little quotation mark afterwards.
That's right, and you can see Tyler has parked his drive. Valet parking, if you will. And we've got Matt next on the tee.
Matty.
That was a close shot. Thank you, Daniel. Next, we've got Ned. Ned is a big fan of the straddle putt. How do you feel about the straddle putt, Daniel?
As long as I'm not the putt.
That's right. And Ned is close, but no cigar on that shot. We've got Aaron up last here on hole two. It's in the air, and it's on the ground.
Hole two looks like number two.
All right, we're on to hole number three, 816 inches. This is a tough left to right shot where the basket is blind, and ooh, Tyler hits the side of the basket there.
Looks like Tyler's blind also.
That's right. We've got Matt up next. He throws a high Anheuser shot that fades out a little bit early.
Now Ned, the dreaded Red Ned as he's known in Spotsy County. His story is one of triumph.
Now what is this we've got here, Daniel? Can you explain to me what Matt is doing there?
Yes, that's the Triple Lutz, which was borrowed from Scott Hamilton in the 1998 Olympics.
All right, well, it's good to see a little Olympic class out here on the disc golf course.
Yes, his victory stance. I love Ned Red.
Hole number four is an exciting hole. It's a tight shot, it's a long hole, and it is right to left. You've got to throw a high cut shot to get through all those trees, but watch out for the fence behind the basket. We see Matt up next on the tee.
Yes, it goes to the left.
Off an early tree, and he's going to have a tough upshot from there. Aaron, high shot, fading in. He's going to have a good look from there. And we're on to hole number five, 864 inches. This hole is referred to as the Tunnel of Love. Do you want to elaborate on that, Daniel?
Yes, that's right, Lizzie boy. You see, when a disc golf player stands just like he is there, memories flood back from elementary school, and you think about your first love, your teacher. You see here, Ned is already thinking about Mrs. Wilkins, her floral skirts, her padded shoulders. He can't even concentrate.
I tell you what, this hole is taking the heart out of all disc golfers. It makes it super tricky to concentrate, but it looks like our players have done all right.
Now you see the way that this hole curves to the right? Well, they call that a right curve. And it usually means that, well, you want to try to get it to go to the right. And as you see here, it's already going to the left. If it wasn't for that tree, it would keep going left.
That's true. It's really hard to fight the natural curve of the discs on this hole. And it's a long one, 1,500 inches. It's been a while since I've seen a hole that long.
If you multiply that times 2, that's 3,000 inches.
And that's a lot of inches. All right. Well, we can see most of our disc golfers here are having a little trouble on that left-hand side. There goes Aaron into the trees, and we are moving on to hole 7? Yeah,
Well,
7. We're on 7.
It's the next hole.
The next hole, hole 7. This is a tricky hole. This hole goes over the lane, 1,044 inches, and then when you get to the basket, it kind of fades away at the end, and it makes it tough because if you go past the basket going for that ace, you're going to have a tough time coming back if you miss the basket.
Well, I've got my money on Ned on this one. I don't know if you folks know this, but back in 2007, Ned was at the top of his game. 2 years later, he dropped to the bottom, but he's been making a comeback ever since. The man has more money, he's got more credibility, he's got courage, he's got a teenage girl fan base. I mean, he is at the top of his game.
And I tell you, that is everything a disc golf player could want in life.
I mean, I've seen Vladimir Putin's fan pages, and man, Vladdy Boy's got nothing on Ned.
All right, well, it's good to see Ned back on the top of his game here as we move on to hole number 8. We've got a great camera angle on the back of the basket as we see discs zoom over the top, and we have no idea who threw that because the chains are in the way.
Man, well, it's like it's coming at me.
Bro? Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. Hole number 8's a tricky one. You can see those trees on the right-hand side is kind of right where your disc wants to go, but it's really hard to get it to fade in right at the last moment to get into the basket. You can see Aaron hit an early tree there, and you can see Tyler finishing off his second shot as we move on to hole number 9.
You can see hole number 9 is 1,284 inches, and that's 1,284 inches of death. You can tell here by the basket, there's a cage around it, and it's symbolic of a black widow ready to destroy its prey from the inside out. These young men are its prey, and it is devastating them.
That's right, and we just keep throwing our discs, trying to hit that basket and trying to get it in under that giant spider. And I've never seen that symbolism before, Daniel, so thanks for bringing that out.
So here we are in hole number 10, known also as the 10th hole. 816 inches is what they say. Now let me tell you something about this. This is no piece of pie out in the countryside. This is the real deal. The basket is suspended 300 feet up in the air. Nobody can see it. And how do you get those discs, you might wonder? Well, the great people at the course had invented a crazy method to get your discs down to you by having secret hatches in the bottom of it that release those discs to the players so they can continue and come back again with those discs and keep giving the owners money.
It truly is an ingenious design. As we move on to the next hole, hole number 11, 1,020 inches, and you can see off in the distance there, 2 guardian trees, and the basket is right in between those. And as if that wasn't hard enough, they went ahead and put a giant net in between those trees. Now, how do you get to the basket, you might ask? Well, they cut a hole, and they put a hula hoop in there. And you can see the basket through there, but it is one tricky shot. As you can see Matt struggling to get his footing, he lays up a little bit short of the basket.
Well, Matt's proven himself elsewhere, so I've got high hopes for him.
That's right. And we've got Aaron off the tee, and we're moving on to hole 12.
Ah, yes. Hole 12 at 948 inches. You can see the net theme seems to be a common thing at this course. On both sides of that doorway there, you have net.
The dreaded net. It is very tricky. And they're angled backwards, so even if you hit that net, you are going to be nowhere near that entrance, and you're going to be taking a 3, laying up to get back to the basket.
Yes, some might call that an Anheuser shot.
Potentially. If you can Anheuser it in there, it might work out well for you, but if you Heiser out too early, you're going to be in the net.
The question is, Philip, do you like the Heiser or Anheuser?
Well, that's a great question, Daniel, and honestly, it really just depends on the shot and which disc I'm trying to use on that shot.
how do you feel about the whole Anheuser Corporation and really the differences between the Williamsburg Busch Gardens and the one down in Florida?
Well, it really is a shame that disc golfers get this rap a lot. You know, we're not related to Anheuser-Busch at all. This is more of a scientific term that we're using in our sport. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and move on to hole number 13, 948 inches. We got a nice bridge, and you can see the basket in between those two guardian trees. Tyler's up first on the tee. And look at that! It is in the basket,
That is
Daniel.
it. That is it. That is it. That is it.
Look at those chains just grab that disc down out of the sky and envelop it into its heart.
You could see the chains yearning for that disc, waiting to hold it close, to caress it, to love it, to make it its own.
That's
That
right.
is the passion behind this sport. That is what people do not get. They don't think this is a real game, but it is. It is about love. It is about brotherhood. It is about humanity.
Thanks for that, Daniel. I'm getting a little choked up. As we move on to the next hole, 14. 1,116 inches. Feeling the passion. This is going to be a tricky hole. Tyler's first off the tee, and he hits a tree on the right-hand side. How do you think these players cope after hitting so many trees?
They should try to aim at the goal.
That's a really good point. A lot of disc golfers, then they try to pick their lines. They look at the trees and they say, I'm going to aim for that tree and I'm going to let the disc do the work. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, they end up hitting the tree that they aim for.
I believe it. That's what they call an iron leaf.
That's right. Many a disc golfer has been thwarted by the iron leaf in his day. Hole 14, it's a tricky hole, making it down through there. Aaron's off the tee last, and it looks like he's the only one that actually cleared the gap, so he had a better shot for his two. All right, next we've got hole 15, another awesome camera shot here from the side of the basket. And you'll see Tyler on the tee first, and look at this slow-mo shot coming in. Look at that coming.
It's really more of a show-off technique, but it truly is beautiful. How do you get the balance like that?
It's a technique he must have been perfecting over the years. But that was really a shame to see it skip out of the basket. Those chains were just being tickled.
Well,
We see the next shot there.
You can't tease the chains.
That's right. No, you've got to embrace them and let them envelop you.
Well, we saw Tyler do it once before.
That's right. And we see Ned get his shot off here, not even worried about the four-wheeler going across the lane in front of him. Aaron throws a great shot up under the basket. These guys are playing good golf today.
Well, this is hole 16, 1,020 inches. Now, you don't have to be a pro to get it through here, even though it looks difficult. All you have to do is be able to bullseye a womp rat. You can get right in. It's no more than 2 meters.
That's right, Scott. And that's a great analogy for some of our fans out there who might be wondering what kind of shot they're looking at here and might be familiar with womp rats on their home planet.
Yes, it's true. In my Skyhopper 16, I can't always find womp rats, so a lot of times I just search after disc golf players. But they're really the next best thing.
That's right. And we see Ned throwing a roller shot down through here. Now, that's a pretty unique shot for this hole, but we see it got him down there with the rest of everybody else. All right, we're watching the guys finish out their putts here. Aaron throws his in, and Tyler from about the middle of the fairway. Look at it coming right at us. Bam!
I felt it.
Ah, yeah, right in the bones.
In my loins.
That's right. All right, hole 17. We're coming down the home stretch here, and we've got one ace in the pocket so far. Hole 17, uphill, a little bit left to right. It's kind of a tricky shot. I can't really see the basket. What kind of shot are we looking for here? Would you say an Anheuser shot, maybe?
I think they need to aim uphill and to the right.
That's true. And I think that that's what they're trying to do.
Well, why aren't they doing it?
I don't know. Let's watch this last shot here and see if maybe they've found some unique ways to try to get up the hill. Look at that. Another roller, I believe, from Ned.
Well, maybe these are the Rocktown rollers you were referring to.
That could be what I was thinking of and why I was a little confused earlier. All right, hole 18.
Last one.
We are coming down 912 inches. We're going to watch this disc. Is it going to go in? Oh!
It was close. I saw some tickling. I felt it. I liked it. But you know what? I didn't feel the caress.
That's right. No cigar. And we've got Matt up next on the tee, it looks like. No, I'm sorry, that's Aaron. Aaron's throwing the shot. He's down there. He's next to the basket. These guys are playing it safe on this last hole.
I've seen lots of valet parking, and a couple of times the valet gets straddled. I don't know if I like the way it makes me feel, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta go with the flow and it feels good.
That's right. And as we watch our players come down the final fairway here, we're going to say a fond farewell. It's been a pleasure being with you here this evening. You guys have a great day and enjoy playing disc golf.
Yeah.